Hi, welcome to Wellness on Demand. I'm Alissa, an exercise specialist with qualifications that allow me to work with people with a cancer diagnosis as well as many other medical conditions. Like you, I'm dipping into sessions on this brilliant conference, Yes to Life, and being spread over 2 weekends, that is a lot of screen time. So I've designed 2 15-minute videos that are designed to help you get up, switch out of your heads, bring your awareness to the body. And after this first one, which is all about gentle movement and holding some stretches, I hope you'll feel an increased sense of openness. Both videos are designed to be suitable for nearly everybody, but please do take care. Listen to your body. Holding stretches is all about feeling that sense of stretch, but no pain. So please take it easy on any areas you know maybe you have some acute arthritis or bone mets. It's advised to avoid stretching that particular joint. So let's get started. Find a space where you're not going to knock anything around you. Standing in a comfortable position, bringing your awareness to the body and trying to bring your weight right into the middle of your feet, lengthening up the spine, softening the face, the neck, the jaw. Gently squeezing in the tummy and very slightly tucking in the glutes so that your back is slightly flatter than normal, and sitting the head right on top of the spine and slightly tucking in the chin so that your neck muscles are using the least effort possible to hold your head there. Take a couple of big deep breaths. On the out breath, dropping tension however you're feeling it a little bit in the body. Noticing the ground under your feet. We're going to start with some gentle moving stretches. We're starting with the shoulders and we're going to work down. So let's take those shoulders forward, up and back and down. And again. So keep going, rolling those shoulders back. Keep up some nice deep relaxing breaths. And let's try the other way. So circling the shoulders forwards and coming back to rest. Let's now shrug the shoulders up to the ears and let them drop. And again, shoulders to ears and let them drop. Great. We're going to bring the arms up in front of the body. Keep the shoulders down, tummy in slightly. And be careful now if you have bone nets in the spine or had back surgery or know you have issues with your vertebrae, only go super gently, not to the end range. So gently squeezing in the tummy, we're going to bring in a little bit of rotation for the back. Again, only going a small way until you just feel those muscles stretching, not forcing it, and keep all movement today nice and slow and continuous. Don't forget that breath. And on this one, we're going to come back to the center, relax the arms, and we're going to start some arm swings. To start with, nice and relaxed, lifting the arms, letting the weight of the arms, let them drop like a pendulum. And then if it feels comfortable to do so, we'll try some arm circles. Big, exaggerated circles if you can. You'll feel the chest opening up, maybe giving those arms a good stretch. Let's try reversing direction. Keeping that tummy in. Try not to let the ribs pop out. And then we're going to bring the arms in front of the body and turn the palms up. We're going to do a lovely slow movement here, a real expansion movement followed by a closing down movement. So as we breathe in, we're going to open up the body like you're shining the heart to the sky, breathing in, and then we're going to close down the body, curve the back backwards as you bring those arms back across. In your own time again, nice and slow as you breathe in, slightly arching backwards, looking up, heart to the sky, and then flipping over the arms, breathing out. Can you curve the back into a C shape backwards as you come back? 2 more times, nice and slow and smooth. And out. And on this last one, even with your vision, let's really use that peripheral vision, take in all the horizon, big semicircular gaze, full awareness, and then really closing down the vision, looking at the floor maybe, and closing it down. Super. Hands onto hips, we're going into hip circles. Really exploring how the hips are feeling. You could try the other direction. Maybe noticing where the hips might feel tight. If you'd like to go into figures of 8 or just explore different parts of that circle, then feel free. Whatever feels good to you. And coming back to centre. And we're going to bring our arms by our sides, nice tall spine. And gently do a side bend, like you're reaching your hand towards the floor as low as you can, and back to centre, the other direction. No twisting, so imagining you're sandwiched between 2 plates of glass. One more time each side. Let's do one more to even up the sides. And coming back to centre. We're going to take the legs together, bend the knees, keep the feet flat on the floor, and see if you can circle the knees. Especially trying to ease them round to the front to feel that stretch down the back of the ankles. Again, reverse direction. And coming back up. We're going to take the feet wide. So fairly wide, as long as you don't feel like you're overreaching. And if you look down, just check in that the outside of your feet are pretty much like train tracks, parallel. And then hands on hips, tummy in, keeping your back nice and upright. Think of easing that hip over to one side and slightly back. Come back to centre and then the other way. So we're not leaning the body. We're trying to get these hips working and feel a really deep stretch down the inner thigh. As you keep going, see if you can go a little bit further over and back, like you're trying to get your hip over and down towards the floor. Nice and smooth. One more time each side. Great. Come back to straight legs. Just wiggle your feet in a little way. So slightly wider than hip position, feet turning out slightly. We're going to do some bend and reach. So a bit of a squat, like a little half squat, so bending the knees. And then we're going to reach up and stretch down the side of the body. And again, so alternating directions, easing into that stretch. If you can, straightening the arm. If you've had upper body surgery, you might want to leave out the upper body stretches, that's fine. It's good to gently stretch scar tissue, but certainly if you've just had surgery, you'll avoid stretching any site. And we're going to do last one. Now bring hands back to hips and wiggle the feet all the way back in. We're going to use a chair next, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to go and see if you can find a chair to use. One a bit like a dining chair, or one that just has something you can rest your hands on around hip height. It could be the back of a sofa or even a shelf if there's no chair to hand. And we're going to use it for a little bit of balance while we do some other stretches. So let's start by doing a calf stretch. We're going to take one leg back, bend the front leg, keep the body nice and upright, and see if you can bring that heel at the back down towards the floor. We're going to keep our hips facing forwards like headlights. And if you want to try and deepen the stretch, see if you can bend that front knee a little bit more and/or try and get that heel down a bit further towards the floor at the back. And we're looking to feel a deep stretch into the belly of that lower leg at the back. So those layers of calf muscles. And then we're going to try that on the other side. I'll show you that one from the side. So same stretch, other leg, nice upright body, trying to ease that heel back and down, keeping everything facing forwards, feet face forwards. Keep breathing, shoulders down, soft face. And carefully come back up. And now a couple of stretches for the legs. We're going to take the back of the foot and ease it towards your butt, trying to keep the knees quite close together and the body nice and upright. If you can't reach your foot, you might need to sling around a tea towel or a belt or something so that you in a loop so you can grab that and ease the foot up a bit that way. Do hold on this one, please. We don't want any falls. And if you want to increase the intensity, stand up nice and tall and ease that hip bone forward on the side you're stretching. So nice active supporting leg if you can, so your body stays nice and tall, and feeling that stretch down the front of the thigh. Release, and while we're on that same leg, we're going to bring the foot forwards and bend the supporting leg and do some hamstring sweeps. So we're stretching the back of the leg, and it's like you've got a paintbrush and you're painting down the front of the leg. I'll just show you from the side, keep going. And once you've done about 5 sweeps on that leg, you can switch to the other leg and do the same thing. If you've got any sort of sciatic pain, I'd keep that foot flat, but otherwise feel free to turn up the foot, and again that will intensify the stretch. I'll leave you to finish 5 of those both sides, and then we've got the quads to do on the other leg. So again, grabbing the leg that you've not done, that quad stretch. I think I have to do the other side. Easing the heel towards you, standing nice and tall. We've got 4 big muscles that make up those quads, the front of the thigh. They're probably the ones in most people tend to be this area. The front of the body tends to be pretty tight from sitting, walking, cycling. So if you can manage this one, a really good stretch for those thighs. If it's too intense on the knee, don't pull too hard. Try and get the stretch by standing nice and tall and pushing that hip bone forward. We're then going to sit down on the chair. Last couple of stretches. To stretch out those hips, most people's get quite tight again. See if you can bring one foot up over your other knee, sit super tall, and ease that chest and chin forwards towards the floor. We want to keep a nice straight back, so we're not compromising the back, but just feeling a stretch in those glutes and hips. Let's try the other side. So if you're doing these by yourselves sometime, any stretch you find today that you really like, try and hold it for about 30 to 40 seconds at least for it to be effective. And you can always repeat the same stretch more than once if you know it's an area for you that you are particularly tight. So we're going to finish with a stretch for your back, for your lats. So you can either do this standing or kneeling and face down on the floor. So a standing version, hands on the back of a chair or sofa, shuffle the feet back until your body's parallel to the floor, facing down, and try and extend your hips back and your hands forward like you're being stretched like an elastic band. That's the standing equivalent of a child pose. Ankles together or feet together, knees wide, and you can slide your hands forward as you take your hips back. And again, elongate that back, stretch out the back, and you can rest your forehead on the floor. So I'll leave you in that relaxing pose. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to do an extended version of this type of class, you can have a look at Penny Braun UK online services, and there I run a stretch and relax class you're welcome to register for. See you soon.